Good evening and welcome everybody to Coach Vogelai's Corner. I'm David Stearns. Joined with me as always is Coach Aaron Vogelai. Coach, how are the holidays treating you here?
Holidays have been great. Great Thanksgiving, and we've had ourselves a nice, exciting week since then to get this third ranking period started. So we're looking forward to one more big weekend this weekend, and we'll get on to Christmas and New Year's.
So you had a couple of solid performances this past weekend against East Carolina, and you're looking for some gifts from Santa Claus here with the final ranking period wrapping up after this weekend for you guys at least. As far as your games played before the end of the ranking period, you have, of course, Rowan and St. Joe's ahead here, but let's rewind a little bit back here and talk about the last weekend against East Carolina. Take us through an impressive weekend from your guys. Old school hockey, as far as what I'm used to with UMBC. It's a good look at the past and how it used to be. And is this what you expect going forward after a couple of strong victories?
I hope so. I mean, our schedule's pretty tough moving forward from here, but it's been a while since we kind of played to our expectations, and we played to the way that we're supposed to play hockey. We played at our pace, not our opponent's pace. We dictated play from start to finish in both games. It's our first weekend sweep since opening weekend up against Siena. So, I think we're starting to finally see this team kind of gel together a little bit more and start to make progress to where we want them. I hear on the radio all the time with sports radio that I know it's a different sport, but Belichick from the Patriots doesn't really care what they look like in October. He knows what he wants to see come January and the end of December, and that's kind of what we're starting to kind of grow towards. And we, as coaches, we know exactly what we want this team to look like in February and moving into March, and we're starting to kind of progress towards that. So, it's a nice sign, and this weekend was a start. We didn't dip down in talent to kind of match our opponents. We played to our talent level and our expectations of what we should do in these games, and it worked out very well for us.
Now you outscored your opponent, the East Carolina University Pirates. You outscored them 23-3, and in Game One you had 17 different point scorers, and in Game Two you had 14 different point getters as well. And you split the weekend on the tenders as well. Drago starting in the first game, allowing 2 goals on 24 shots, and then the second game you had Miller in net. I lost the stats there. I'm sorry, 1 goal on 13 shots. How confident did you feel that your goaltenders, played this past weekend? Considering the low amount of shots, what were your feelings about their play?
I think they both played very well. The 2 goals that Johnny gave up, he barely saw only because they were turnovers from behind the net, and they were quick passes out front and one time before he really even had a chance to see what the heck was going on. So they were really bad turnovers that we needed to fix, and we did. And then the goal that Miller gave up was a 2-on-1 that OC tipped into his own net. So, you take those, the unlucky bounce away, and then you take the two on Saturday night, just making a simple, breakout pass instead of trying to stick handle through a guy behind the net, and we shut the weekend out. So, there's a lot of positives to take from it. Both were tested with a couple really nice entries by East Carolina and a couple nice plays and shots, but for the most part, I think we dictated what we wanted to, and we were very happy with our two goaltenders.
Now your team has shown its depth this past weekend. Some names coming out of the woodwork that we wouldn't normally expect. But talk a little bit about DJ Fadler. He had 6 points on the weekend, 5 goals, and then in the first game or the second game, I beg your pardon. Or no, first game he did get his first collegiate hat trick. Talk a little bit about his style of play and what you expect out of him going forward into this weekend against Rowan and St. Joe's.
DJ Fadler is starting to kind of come into his own, and it's really nice to see. Him and I talked a lot, kind of moving forward. Since the beginning of the season, and the one thing about DJ, I mean, he's got tremendous skills with the puck. He can shoot, he can skate. He's got good vision to find his other teammates and line mates to be able to move the puck when that situation comes. the one thing that he's had to work on is kind of buying into our system as team play and being able to play on the defensive side of it, locking down the neutral zone and in our concept or scheme there, and then also in the defensive zone being more responsible for his responsibilities. And DJ has done that. He works very hard at making sure that he's doing his job without the puck just as much as he is with the puck, and it's starting to pay dividends for him. So, he's moved up. He kind of saw himself go down as the responsibilities weren't getting done earlier on in the year, and he made a very conscious effort since then to make sure that he starts moving back up the depth chart. Now he's playing on one of our top two lines with Sean O'Connor and Zach Tracy, and those three guys have been absolutely on fire. And this weekend just shows that Tracy or that that Fadler's doing a great job for us.
Now, looking at the Match South standings, I'm still trying to get used to that whole MACH acronym in that. But looking at the South, the way it stands right now, you guys are sitting at 5, but this weekend coming up with 2 conference games, it gives you guys an opportunity to kind of move up above quite a few teams here. You essentially leapfrog over 3 teams if the results worked out for you, that they'd lose out on their weekends ahead here. But talk about your standing right now in the Mach South right now, and where you see you guys ending up here with these 2 important games coming up this weekend.
I think we just need to kind of just take care of what we need to take care of. Unfortunately, this weekend, not to throw in that doesn't count for
Doesn't
our
count.
actual standing.
That's right. You're right. You're right.
Rowan and St. Joe's are north teams, and we are in the beloved south.
Right. You guys switched it up last year. You went down, right?
And your defense the last time that we really did these seasons together, we were in the north, just
That's
like
right.
everybody else. So
Yep.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, my friend.
Why, thank you.
No problem. But we've got 2 games up against Delaware in the second half of the season.
Right.
We've got Virginia Tech again, and then we've got Liberty. We need to make sure we win those 4 games. I mean, that's the big part that we really need to take care of. So, we got the sweep of East Carolina. We split with Maryland. So there's nothing that we can do with that. The good part is everybody else seems to be splitting with everybody else. So, I think it's going to be a very tight race. I think you're going to have Maryland, ourselves, Liberty, Virginia Tech, and then it's a wild card. Is it going to be Delaware? Is it going to be ECU? Right now it kind of looks like it's going to be Delaware, but we're going to have to see what happens. So I think somebody's going to get left out of the cold, but we'll have to see how it all washes and see who gets what seeding. But it's very feasible that we can take one, but it only takes one game to lose from here on out, and we can find ourselves at either 2 or 3.
And that's a good segue to introduce the fact that we do have a reschedule for the Delaware game, and that will be, when would that be? February 2nd, right?
Right now, it is set for February 2nd at 2 o'clock in the 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, all right. Well, it's a shame that Penn State isn't in your division there in the South, because that would have been a nice little finish to the season on February 3rd. But that game might actually come down to some importance with the ranking, of course, finishing things out. But which leads me into my next point here. You got Rowan coming up this weekend at St. Joe's, and talk about how important it is to win out these last 2 games and what it could possibly mean for you guys in the finishing of this ranking period.
I think we've been, I think it's pretty evident we've been up and down all season and not playing up to our expectations, and then, the next game coming out and playing absolutely wonderful. So we need to make sure that we kind of ride on this consistent bubble that we've had now. So, the game on Saturday it's huge. It's huge for Rowan. It's huge for us. So we need to make sure that we come ready to play, because Rowan's not going to want to get swept by us, especially not in our building, especially in the third ranking period. So, right now we're their only loss in regulation. I'm sure they want to keep it that way, but at the same point in time, they don't want to add to that. We want the season sweep over the number 2 team in our region. Plain and simple. We want to prove that we're better than the number 5 spot where we sit right now, and right now I think we're hungry for it. So we're gonna throw everything that we have at them, and hopefully we come out on the upside of that victory. St. Joe's, you can't overlook them. Last weekend or 2 weekends ago they took Temple to overtime. And that's a huge rivalry, so those games can always be close. But I mean that was after Temple beat them 11-1 the first time. So St. Joe's is improving, and then in that same weekend, they beat Rowan in overtime. So they play well in their building, and we need to make sure that we're ready to play both games, not just one game this weekend.
Now, I know it's going to be a tough question to ask here, but what do you think is going on with Rowan? I mean, a very strong start, going into the season with an 11-0-0 record and then being stopped up by you guys up at Reisterstown. But it's been kind of a rough road for them here in the second ranking period. And what do you think is going on right now with them, and how do you think it's all going to shake out here going into the end of this ranking period?
I mean, the college season is a really long season, and you play anywhere between 1 and 3 games every single weekend. You very rarely ever get anything off or any time off. So I mean, in the 7 years that I've been coaching at this level, I think I've only seen one undefeated team, and it was I haven't seen, because even Florida Gulf Coast was last year, but even Northeastern beat them late in the season. So they're going to happen. They're going to drop games. I mean, Rowan's got an extremely good hockey team. They're extremely fast. They pay attention to details. They want to outwork you in every one-on-one battle, and you need to be ready to go to war with them, because they're an outstanding hockey team, and they're going to bring their best each and every night. So, I've got the utmost respect for their coaching staff and their team, and we need to make sure that we bring our best to the rink, because they're going to do the same to us.
Now, last time you two met was just a month ago, and almost immediately afterwards, you guys are seeing each other again up at your barn again. How important is that, having that home ice? I mean, you guys love to play at home, and you guys showed a really strong effort against them the last time with a 4-1 victory. What are you guys going to do to make sure that you get the same results this time around?
I think we're going to attack the game the same way. We're going to get a lot of shots on net. We want to kind of try to take Bennett's eyes away from them, and we've got to match their intensity. That's the biggest thing, is that Rowan wants to outwork you. They do some things very well. We need to make sure that we can counter their strengths, and we did a great job of it last time, and we need to make sure that we do it again.
Now, the one wild card that we have here is last time you played them, you had Trevor Miller in net, and this time you do have a healthy John Drago. What's going to be the decision here? Has there been one yet?
There has not been a decision right now. We've got a great goaltender battle, and they're two very close friends that are liking the competition between the two of them, and we feel 100% confident with both of them. So, the coaching staff is going to have a decision to make, and either way we choose is going to be the right one.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll close it out here, and good luck this weekend. And I'll take this moment to say that we are sorry that we will not be carrying this game, but Tom Wilms from IYM Sports Radio will have the call on IYMSportsRadio.com. I'm going to let him go up on that rickety scaffolding you have set up there next to the Rowan bench.
It should be fun either way.
He accepted the challenge, so he'll be up there to make the call. So tune in for that game on Saturday. And, of course, good luck against St. Joe's as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so that'll conclude this edition of Coach Voegtli's Corner. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And, as always, don't stop believing.
Take care.